For Yellow Wiggle, Greg Page, last month's bushfire relief concert was very nearly his final encore. Greg collapsed on stage with a heart attack. He owes his life to a nurse in the audience who performed CPR and used the club's defibrillator. Today, Greg returned to that stage to say thank you, and Brady Halls was there.
We love you, mate. The gratefulness goes both ways, mate.
Thank you so much, Grace.
Oh my God, I've got so many people to thank.
On this Valentine's Day, here's a story from the heart about a heart.
A little bit of plaque in my arteries broke off during the show due to the blood flow and just clotted like that.
Wow. And if this thing wasn't there, do you think we'd be talking today?
Look, most likely not, no.
Greg Page is back from the dead.
Wiggle along with me.
We know him best as the original Yellow Wiggle.
Chugga, big red car.
There he was last month, up on stage performing a charity gig, when suddenly he collapsed.
Guys, I think we're going to end it there. Greg's not feeling real well.
Behind that black curtain, the man adored by children and parents around the globe had stopped breathing.
So thanks everyone for coming tonight, and he's going to be all right. We've got some medical attention.
And wait till you hear how sheer luck played a part in that medical emergency.
Well, mate, how are you? You're looking good.
I'm really good. Yeah, I'm great. I'm glad to be here.
I'm told your ribs are a little sore.
Yeah, they are,
Yeah.
but I'm glad they are.
Yeah. That was the pumping. Everybody
Yeah,
pushing
I know,
down.
the CPR, and I think that was the moment when I kind of realised the seriousness of what had happened, because I don't remember much about the show at all.
Go, go, go.
You were standing up there, you were working hard, you looked great, you were smiling, you were active. Then you just walked over to there and then you collapsed. It happens like this, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, it can do, and I mean, I had no warning signs or pre-existing symptoms that there was the potential for anything to go wrong, and if anything, I was working out harder to prepare for the show. I was walking quicker, going to the gym, making sure that I was as fit as I could be, not knowing that there was a ticking time bomb in there. And I guess that's one message I want people to really take away from this, that it's not necessarily how you look on the outside, it's how you are on the inside.
Okay, this is the Wiggles on A Current Affair.
Now, as it happens, A Current Affair had only spoken to Greg and his old team just a couple of days before that reunion show and the heart attack that was pending.
Yeah, the young fans who were around when we first started and into the 90s are now in their 20s and...
Nearly 30, some of them.
Yeah, some of them, yeah.
The concert he was about to perform was for over 18s to raise money for bushfire victims. And those kids, now all grown up, were pumped. A month on, after his massive heart attack, Greg was today back on that stage because of these people and a little box that sits on a wall in the back office.
Oh, someone just put it in my lap and they were like, this is a defibrillator. I was like, oh, okay, there we go. That's great.
Grace Jones was an off-duty nurse at that concert, and even though people were thumping Greg's chest behind the curtain, he wasn't responding until the defib was handed to Amazing Grace.
It's a good little box, isn't it?
It's so good. It's so easy to use. Anyone can use it.
It's not something that you hope you'll ever use, but it's something you hope that when you need it, it's there and it's ready to be and available.
And it was for that reason that 16 years ago, someone at the Castle Hill RSL in Sydney decided to get one and put it on the wall. Brett Craston is one of the bosses at the club.
We have up to 500,000 people come through our doors every year. We have a recognition that we have a duty of care to all of these people.
And today, a grateful Wiggle wanted to thank the club for their wise decision and those who saved him, like Steve, the drummer, who knows CPR, Grace and Kim from the audience, and Brian, the first paramedic on the scene. Oh, and Matt Andrews from Australian Hearts, the organisation pushing for more defibrillators in our communities.
We used to think it was acceptable that 3,700 people died every year in Australia from car accidents. And then we went, you know what, it's not okay. we need seatbelts installed, and now we've got it down to like 1,300. Why do we accept that 30,000 people die from sudden cardiac arrest every year? Why do we accept that? It's not acceptable. You can save lives by having a defib where you are.
Many responsible corporate citizens now have defibs in their stores and workplaces. Coles, Woolies, Bunnings, Officeworks, Westpac, to name a few.
It pays to know, because if you're ever out in a situation where somebody falls over in front of you and you need to know how to save their life, having one of these nearby could just be the answer.
They only cost a couple of $1,000s and they would save.
At least 3,000 people a year, 3,000 Gregs would still be alive with us.
Do you feel proud of the outcome and what you achieved on that night with other people?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I do. It's just such a
saved
good
a wiggle.
story. I know. 6-year-old me is very excited about that.
So if we get more of these into the community, more people knowing how to use them, there'll be more of me to advocate for survival and more families with dads and mums and sons and daughters out there that live on.
I suspect we're going to hear a lot more from you on this issue.
Whether you like it or not, you
may
will.
even sing a song about it.
I probably will.
There'll be a new Wiggle song.
I've already written a song about how to dial 000. The next one I'm going to write is about how to do CPR, because 70% of out-of-hospital cardiac arrests happen at home. And if it's a mum at home on her own with the kids, children need to be aware of what they might have to face.
Beautifully said, my friend. We're all
Thanks,
glad
mate.
you're still here.
Thanks, Brady. Me too.
Good to see him. Greg says he can't wait to get back to his other passion, cricket. And not surprisingly, he's just donated a defibrillator to his team's clubhouse, just in case.